right, so this is the elementary experience, and if you have this turned on, this is what it's going to look like to your students. So I'm going to show you what some of the differences are between the secondary experience and the elementary experience. So the elementary experience, it is more visual here. So you can see there are icons on here that your students will learn to know where to go, and you can also let them know that as well. So if I click on the instructor and course information, over here on the right hand side, you as an instructor, you know that this is a page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. So on here, I just have my instructor information. It's always good to have this. It's good for the students as well as the parents and guardians. So I highly recommend that you put one of those on there. And I want to show you what this looks like if I jump into some assignments here. So here I posted an assignment called the Dot Student Reflection. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this up. So up top here I have my directions. I also posted the Dot Read Aloud, and this is just the book that's being read aloud to the students. And then underneath you can see the different types of responses that the students can choose to do. So they can either take a photo, record a video, record audio, upload a file, or type their response. Another unique thing for Schoology this year is it now has the Immersive Reader. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like. I'm going to click on the Immersive Reader in the upper right corner, and here you see this is all of the text that I typed in, the instructions for my students to complete this assignment. I'm going to go ahead and hit play so that you can see what this looks like for your students.
After watching the dot, record your reflection of what you thought about the book. Did you like the book? Why or why not? Immersive Reader cannot read this content.
So it's saying that it can't read this content because I posted a YouTube video underneath of my instructions. So I want to show you some of the different preferences that you can set here, or your students can set for this. They can change the font size, they can increase the spacing, they can change the font type. They can also make this easier to read with high contrast if that helps them. I'm going to go over here. You can also show syllables. So the students will have to adjust this on their own Chromebook screens and on their own Schoologies, but they can show the syllables, they can show the parts of speech as well. So that's something that if you want to take time to review with your students, you absolutely can. It might be really beneficial for them, especially if they're using this a lot in your class. And then there's line focus. So if I turn line focus on, it's going to make sure that wherever it's reading, it's showing me what that looks like. So it's showing me that word that it's reading to me as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off right now. And you can also choose different languages, and this is based off of Google languages. So you can see here there are a lot of different languages. So what this does is if I change this to Spanish, and then I switch over here where it says document, you'll see what it does is it translates the text that I typed in, the instructions that I typed in for my students on this assignment, in their native language. They can also switch back to the original or back to Spanish. And to back out of this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on here on that little arrow in the upper left corner. And the same thing, I'm going to click the back arrow to navigate out of this. And you can see I posted different books for my students on here. I'm going to navigate back because I want to show you what math looks like. All right, so I want to show you what a math test looks like on here. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start New Attempt. So I put in here a few different ways that you can make questions on here. So I'm going to go ahead and type my responses in here. I have word banks. I can also put videos in here. And you can see there's a different assortment of questions that you can have, and then the students will submit those answers on the assessment. All right, so I wanted to show you what this looks like on the teacher end. So on the teacher end, you can see this looks a lot different. So in order to enable the elementary experience, you're going to click on Course Options, and then you're going to click on Edit Privacy Course Settings. From here, you're going to scroll down, and where it says Course Theme, you're going to change this to elementary, and then you're going to click Save Changes. Once you do that, your course is going to look different to your students. So I'm going to go back. This is the teacher view again, and you can see the teacher view doesn't look much different than it did before. You will have to view it from your students in order to see what the difference is, but you can see here as I'm building things, I can choose a math test here. I'm going to show you what this looks like when I go to build this so that you know exactly what you're looking for. So I'm going to add a page, and let's say that this is a math tutorial. I'm going to type my instructions here for my students, and again, they can use the Immersive Reader, and this is where it's different. So here you're going to have a featured image, and you're going to be able to edit this image and upload that image from your computer. So those are the big differences, and anytime that I add materials, whether it's an assignment, test quiz, assessment, discussion board, page, they all have that featured image that you're going to put on there to guide the students. So those are the biggest differences between the elementary and the secondary experience.